So another question I got for y'all, then we're like all off topic, is normalizing. Like I talked about normalizing behavior, and this one might be a little bit uncomfortable, but I was reading this post that talked about like just normalizing sexual behavior, right? And it talked about normalizing the awkward moments, the premature ejaculation, like normalizing nudity and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I get torn on it, right? Because a lot of that stuff, and for me, and we normal, we talk about stuff like that. It's like you get what you get, you know what I mean? But like how much of stuff that's common should be normalized? Because I think we're getting to a place in society, and I'm really about to flip this conversation, that we try to normalize stuff that happens just because it's frequent, right? Like how some people are classifying pedophilia as a sexual orientation, which I do believe it is a sexual orientation. I just am not comfortable. I do not believe that is a sexual orientation that is okay. Like, I think there are people who are into that and they're wrong. So to ignore it and say that it's not an orientation, I don't know, because it's been happening for generations. It's been happening for centuries. Like you can, if you do a little bit of Googles, you know what I mean? Like they've been fucking with kids forever. So like, at what point do we normalize stuff? And at what point do we say, no, bro, this ain't cool? Like, I just don't know, because it seems like we want to normalize everything now.
Mm.
So I had this conversation with some of my friends that normalized word is how I feel about toxic when they blew up. I'm tired of hearing let's normalize. Like if you want to do that, live your life, but you ain't got to put normalizing everything on everybody else. Now I get it. Sometimes sometimes it's excessive, just like toxic was. Some shit is toxic and it can be used, but there's sometimes when that word is being used excessively, and I feel the same way about normalizing shit.
Yeah, I can see that. I think it is excessive to me as of this moment when I have been informed that there's a conversation about normalizing making pedophilia inclination sexual orientation.
Right.
I get it. Because to me, yeah, the reason why I didn't find the normalized word to be OD before is because I think it was generally used to say, at least in the ways I was seeing it, it was used to say, hey, let's bring this to the table as a regular part of conversation. Like, let's not pretend like it's not, let's not pretend like we should not discuss moms taking care of themselves or like Black men being emotional creatures too or something like that. Like all these things I thought it makes sense. Let's just say make it regular. Don't act like it's a new and novel conversation. It's always been, we just been ignoring it.
Yeah.
This on the other hand, and almost, and I feel like what's implied by that also is like be receptive to it and accept it. Ain't nobody trying to accept that. I can even understand normalize kind of like the awkward moments and like understanding sexuality. That's okay. Then when we get into like hear that as receive, accept, respect. I receive, like you said, Adam, that it might be a sexual orientation. Something might be oriented to children in a way that is not fair or kind or legal.
It's sick shit.
Yeah, I'm not respecting it, so I can't use normalize for that.
Right.
You know, I really, society really scares me because I think we're really going to a neutral place, and the idea of we just don't have hard stances on stuff. We can't have hard stances on stuff because we want to normalize everything so that we don't offend other people. Some people deserve to be offended because they suck. And maybe being offended helps you to go look in the mirror and correct yourself. make changes so that you become a better person. And just the overall acceptance of everything does not promote growth. One day somebody got to tell you, hey, what you're doing is not okay. And if no one tells you what you're doing is not okay, you're probably not going to fix it because you're not going to see it as being wrong.
Yeah.